Hi guys, it's Narelle Cook from Canine and welcome to another week of Thursday's Thoughts. This is where I share bite-sized pieces of scientific information that I find really interesting, and I hope you do too. So this week it's a little bit different. So this was a letter to the editor, just highlighting the results of a trial that was done looking at the effect of indoor air pollution on atopic dermatitis in dogs. So it's part of the allergy journal that's published by the European Academy of Allergy and Clinical Immunology, and this was published in 2022. So indoor air pollution, we know it poses a significant health risk to both us and our pets. And, the role of indoor air pollution on atopic dermatitis in humans has been thoroughly investigated, over the past decades, and they've shown a significant association between the level of indoor air pollution and atopic dermatitis in people, but this has never really been looked at in our dogs. So great that they're doing that. And in dogs, it's referred to as canine atopic dermatitis. So with this study, they had 35 dogs with diagnosed canine atopic dermatitis, and they had 15 healthy dogs. Now, they gave the owners questionnaires to complete about their living environment. They also measured the concentrations of different particulate matter sizes in the home environments as well. So PM stands for particulate matter, and there's PM 2.5 and PM 10. So 2.5 just means particulate matter that is 2.5 microns or smaller, and PM 10 is 10 microns or smaller. And they also measured the volatile organic compounds in the air as well. Now, just to quickly, because I needed to Google this myself, so just to go into more detail about the particulate matter. So in terms of where it comes from, it can be from natural sources, it can be from human-made sources. Some of the more common sources of particulate matter that may be in our homes can come from car exhaust. So if you live on a busy stretch of road, that's a real possibility that you can have a lot of car exhaust particulate matter entering your home. If you live in an industrial area and there's emissions from those factories, wildfires, touch wood, you don't experience that. In terms of indoor air pollution sources, things like tobacco smoke, that's a terrible one for you and your dog and family. Cooking and heating appliances, paints and adhesives can give off particulate matter. Dust and soil is something that we often think about, and as well as pollen and mold spores is, something that we do commonly think about as well. Unpaved roads, I must say it's not something I'd thought about. Construction sites, we've sort of mentioned as well with the industrial emissions. But the problem is with the smaller particulate matter, like the 2.5, for example, it's actually small enough to penetrate into the lungs and to potentially enter the bloodstream. So this can cause a lot of respiratory and cardiovascular problems. The larger particulate matter sizes, less likely to enter, deeply into the body and the bloodstream. So you're more likely to see irritation of the eyes, the nose, and the throat. So that's a nice little summary of where particulate matter can come from and the effect it can have. So if we come back to the paper, so it's sort of a no-brainer that the presence of visible mold on the walls was significantly associated with higher particulate matter concentrations in all dogs that were tested. And the particulate matter concentrations were significantly lower in homes that used an air cleaner. So that sort of makes sense as well. So I'll talk through here. So basically, dogs living in households with particulate matter, with high particulate matter concentrations, were significantly more likely to suffer from canine atopic dermatitis than dogs living in homes that had low levels of particulate matter in the air. And this is just showing that. So for the particulate matter 2.5, concentrations were significantly higher in homes with dogs with canine atopic dermatitis compared to control dogs, which were healthy dogs. And those dots just mean a statistical significance of 0.001, of p-value less than 0.001, I should say. And similar with the particulate matter 10, significantly higher concentrations in the homes of dogs with canine atopic dermatitis than healthy dogs. And there were no significant differences in the volatile organic compound concentrations between both groups. So this was basically the first study to investigate this relationship between indoor air pollution and canine atopic dermatitis. And what they found is that exposure to indoor air pollution, elicits the development of atopic dermatitis, as well as exacerbating the symptoms of atopic dermatitis in dogs. And one of the contributing factors, or two of the contributing factors that they've related to this, is an increased, I always have to think about this, transepidermal water loss. So that just means that they notice reduced integrity of the skin barrier, so increased water loss from the skin, so dry skin, reduced integrity of the skin barrier in dogs exposed to high levels of indoor air pollution, and an increased inflammatory response in the body of those dogs as well. So the authors are suggesting that atopic dogs need to have the indoor air pollution managed as part of the overall sort of treatment approach to reduce their symptoms. So I found that just really interesting because, when we've got an itchy dog or a dog with like skin redness, skin lesions, skin itching, we do jump to supplements. And I will say the PEA Plus would be a great choice if you have a dog with atopic dermatitis. If you go back to a previous Thursday's Thoughts, you'll see that the PEA has been clinically shown to improve symptoms of atopic dermatitis in dogs prone to or suffering from atopic dermatitis due to environmental allergies. So jump on the website absolutely and read about the PEA Plus because it's got really potent natural antihistamine and anti-inflammatory properties. But also jump onto the website, the resources tab, we have a guide section, and we've got this amazing guide, allergy guide, that goes through not only diet and supplement recommendations for your dog to help improve the quality of life and reduce their symptoms. But we also talk about environmental changes that you can make that you may not have thought about. So, as the authors of this paper highlighted, using an air filter. So if you get an air filter or an air purifier in your home that's got a HEPA filter, so HEPA filter, that can help to trap a lot of those airborne pollens and molds and dust that may be exacerbating your dog's symptoms. We also tend to think about external contaminants that may be impacting our dogs, things around the garden like, pesticides and herbicides where your dog walks on the grass, for example. But we also really need to consider everything we're putting into the air in our home that's closed in. So insect sprays, I've got a lot of spiders around my house at the moment, and I'm really conscious of not spraying them because of the dogs. Hairsprays, perfumes, what are the plug-in air fresheners? They're just terrible for you and your dogs. Scented candles, most of them are terrible for you and your dogs because of the volatile compounds that they're releasing into the atmosphere. So there's lots to think about. If you're not sure about where to start with your allergy dog, please contact us at info@canineceuticals.com. Like I said, we've got some great resources on the website. We've got, the podcasts, the guides. We're always available. So let me know, do you have an allergy dog, and have you taken steps to change your environment to improve their symptoms, and did it work or didn't it work? I had a client once with a really severe chronic skin dog, and she pulled all of the carpet up in the whole house just because of her dog's allergies, and it worked. So that's quite extreme. I'm not about to tell people to pull up all their carpet, but it just goes to show, what can be impacting our dogs. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say in the comments. So thank you for another week, and I'll see you next week.